time, one man said, him tired of this Thanksgiving, they just sit down and eat food.
Yeah.
So I'm calling friend them to come listen to story down a film yard on Thanksgiving night. So then listen to story. The next year then come, then listen to story. The next year, him not see them. For all of them, they are for them yard. I call up for them friend to come listen to story.
Welcome everybody to Talk to Me, the program where we draw a long bench, sit down with some good people, and chat about them life and the work what them a do.
Talk to me, make me tell you me story. Hear a little something about the journey. A Jamaica make me. Just talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me.
This is the program we name Talk to Me, and me name Joseph Farquharson. In the show today, me sit down with Dr. Amina Blackwood Meeks, who build a life out of storytelling. She work at Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts as the smaddy will make speech about the people them who the college get honorary degree. As she come up with the idea and start up the big storytelling festival when named Anansi Soundsplash. The festival they keep every November. She do work on radio, TV and on social media, and she write in a newspaper. Her name right down in the Caribbean Hall of Fame, and the Cayman Islands get the Cayman Island Gold Star for the work what she do in her culture. We talk about how Nancy Soundsplash start up, how she start tell story, the work what she do with picnic in a Jamaica and Antigua, and what makes she think language important in her storytelling. Put on top of that, we talk about two of the book them what she write.
One of the wonderful things about this so-called pandemic is that it forces us to utilize the technology, which is here to stay, whether we like it or not. And I have noticed that many people who have festivals around the world love the Zoom festival because they don't have to pay a plane fare. They don't have to come pick you up at the airport. None of all of these things. And so it suits them for just say, come on the Zoom and we will send your storytelling fee for you. What the platform has done for Anansi Soundsplash is to take us around the world in a way we hadn't been around the world before. Because if you have two tellers from Mexico, the day when they're on, them are going to tell all their Mexican friends, say, you're there.
Yes.
And so in one sitting, we're reaching 20,000 people.
What?
Yes, yes, yes. When you have tellers in Japan, Australia, Mexico, Cuba, you name it, South Africa, at 20,000 people I talk about, which in Jamaica sound like a plenty people, you know, because in the past, when we would do our reports, we would say 7,000 people saw the festival this year. Kuya! That means 7,000 over the number of the 8 legs, the 8 days, right?
Yes.
But now, as we sit down, 20,000 and people say, I'm watching quick from Ireland. Fast. We never know no storyteller would be watching us from Ireland. So now we have made those contacts. So we're happy about that. 2012, you must look her up, a woman named Margaret Reed MacDonald, anthropologist. She have dozens of children's storybooks. Invited herself to Anansi Soundsplash. She saw the flyer and she come. Now there is a big magazine for the National Storytelling Center in Jonesboro up in America. And she writes for the magazine. And in 2012, after one visit to Soundsplash and many visits to festivals around the world, she write up in that magazine, say, anybody who want to know how to run a storytelling festival, go to Jamaica to Anansi Soundsplash. A true word, may I tell you.
And hold on. When you start, at 98 you start, so?
But we started using the name Telebration. Because in November, there is a, you know anything America do, them say it international. So America have one festival that started in, Connecticut, 1988. You want to hear the festival start? One time, one man say, I'm tired of this Thanksgiving, they just sit down and eat food.
Yeah.
So I'm calling friend them to come listen to story down a film yard on Thanksgiving night. So then listen to story. The next year then come, then listen to story. The next year, him not see them. For all of them, they are for them yard. I call up for them friend to come listen to story. So celebration was born, meaning tell a story in celebration of who you are. And that is held in Nicey, and that's held in November. And every year, celebration is held at 400 locations around the world. So we decide, say, we in this, and we find them calendar, and we say, calendar way.
Yes.
And them calendar way. So we are recorded as having taken part in celebration. At the same time now, me and Henry Mutu, Henry is from Guyana, but he lives in Cayman. And we have the same storytelling mentor, Ken Corsby, who is one of the voices. Yeah, he had Caribbean I. He's one of the voices who caused Carry Festa to happen. Him do all kind of wonderful things. He had a group named Them Two with him and Mark Matthews. To go around the region and tell story. Meanwhile, Ken I whisper in my ears, and I whisper in a Henry Mutu ear say, we want a Caribbean festival. Guess what happened? Now me and Henry, without consulting one another, start to own a festival in November.
And in this same month too.
This same month. So
Hold
when
on.
Henry...
So what make you go for November and what make him go for November?
Ken is connected to celebration.
Okay. Yes.
And I can tell you about celebration. So remember now me say Ken our mentor, you know.
Yes.
So we are going where Ken tell we say. Right. So when Henry call and say, Amina, may I launch my festival? Me say, Henry, may I launch my one too. So me finish my one quick o'clock and run go at here, man. Quick o'clock.
So hold on. So you realize how history repeats itself. Because the man start up the thing, and then after a while, him friend them miss him because them start up to them own a thing. And the said thing happen with the television.
Yes. So Henry now call his festival Gimme Story. And that name has never changed. But we went from celebration, and then 1 month, because of all kinds of things that not important now, we had it in May, so we could honor Child's Month. And that month, we did call it Little Story Fest, and only children told stories, only children. We were just there in case them behave too energetic. We sing couple song, me never say rude. We sing couple song and bring them back and so on. And then we put it back in November and rebranded it and Nancy Soundsplash in 2012 so we could make a special contribution to Jamaica 50.
Oh.
Right? And when it came back in 2012, instead of having it just a weekend, and I need to just honor the relationship between myself and Henry. Instead of just having it for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we say, make we go here, so go there, so go there, so go there. So I'm going to call Henry. I'm going to say, Henry, this is what my festival doing this year. And Henry say, add one more event. I say, why? He say, because you just tell me 7 events. And Nancy have 8 legs.
Hey!
And yes! Hand per hand, make hand clap.
Yes, yes.
Hand per hand, make hand clap. And so comes it that, and Nancy's Soundsplash is at 8 leg. This is important, you know, my brother Joseph, because Caribbean people love ball and say we're not doing things together. And it's because we're not seeing how much things we do together and how much we help one another. It's very important. We are looking for one big everlasting something, but are the little something them that add up and add up and add up. The God of small things, Aaron Darthy Roy, are the little something them we add up and add up and add up into a big celebration. And so you're right, around the world, there are storytellers. If they don't get invited to a Nancy Soundsplash, they're going to call me the worst name. And me have to say, no, the thing can't. Let me tell you something. You see, in America, well, in America and Europe, you know, get invited back over and over in consecutive years.
Yes.
They might skip out 3 years and call you back, and skip out 3 years, or they might never call you back. Me have some big friend who organize the festival on the Hudson, to which they have invited me. And them know say the same teller no come back every year. But every year, if me no say, uno know so not come, cut I can't cut me in two, and penny can't buy me shoes, and them bex with me and cut them eye. This festival has an international reputation.
Yes,
that when we want, and a big one too, when we want our storytellers from South Africa who have never come, we have had to say to them, because of the time difference, record your speech, your piece, and send it, and we will play it. And so we're very proud is not a good word, you know. It not means that we chest swell up.
Your heart full.
We heart full. Yes, we heart full with the many places that we have taken this festival. When JCDC says, because of you, we have taken out the storytelling component out of speech and drama and put it as a discrete thing by itself. We know, say, we are the work.
Yes.
You know, we petition CXC to say, you can't make storytelling an elective. Storytelling have to be something. And when we see students now doing their SBA in a storytelling, we say, yeah, we are doing something. When we hear Jamaican children say, for start a story, crick crack, we know say how we do that. Yes. Because we never have no way of starting our story, but the European once upon a time, except down in Steertown in St. Ann, and I haven't heard it anywhere else, where the teller says, Nancy, and the listener says, Tori, crick crack, I want Eastern Caribbean something.
Yes, we know that.
Because all of us, because of the African origin, we have a call and response for our stories. But at the Eastern Caribbean, we get it from. When we look up in our book now, Miss Lucy, when she was little, before you start the story, you find one red ants and you mash your guts. Because sometimes bad things in the story and the fat in the red ant's belly are go, yes, where whatever the word name, exorcise the bad thing out of the story. Yes. So we say, we not tell the children them figure catch no red ants and mashy goats, because we are a non-violent people, don't you know that? Yes. But the little red ants have to eat too. So we say, what we are going to use? There are many ways of the call and response around the region, and umpteens of ways on the continent. The essential thing is the call and response. Yes. So our very first festival, we teach everybody who come the crick crack. So when we hear people start story crick crack, we know say, NTUKUMA do that. Yes. So, yeah.
So you tell a story where other people make up, and you tell a story where you make up. But now make we start with the makeup story. I want to hear a Mina story. Which part you born and grew and which school you go. Give me a story.
You know what makeup story that?
Who make it up?
My mother did make in a one place named Brandon Hill upper St. Andrew. Oh. And my father did make in a one place near Manchester, 20 Bonito Crescent. And the two of them come together and make me and two sisters and two brothers, and we born and grow at Kingston.
Oh, Kingston.
Many people don't believe that, because my mother and my father never know nothing but them country wisdom. And big head people like you and me learn to call it IKS. Wait, name, Sinting in Indigenous Knowledge System.
Yes.
And all that means is that the people them get the wisdom according to how them interact with them
and how them live. Yes.
So them when rain go fall, and we might say, Lord, your plate full of food. And they might say, what a mountain of be cleaner your plate. And all of these wonderful things. And my father of blessed memory, Jonathan Samuel Blackwood, would tell us stories every Friday night.
Oh.
There were other times that we were told stories. We were told stories for everything. You're bad, you get a story. Conversation go on, you get a story. You're good, you get a story. But my mother and my father used to parch peanut and sell peanut. Long before peanut come to Jamaica in a one buckle with one label on it.
Yes.
Now call them name, because we now give them no free advertisement. My
no,
mother
when I grew up, the peanut seller them used to sell it, you know, pan the cart with the whistle.
There you
and
go.
And it wrap up in the long brown paper.
There you go. My mother and father used to parch peanut now with salt and butter, and we used to help them. And then buckle up the peanut Saturday night, and Friday night, and Saturday and Sunday, then go and sell peanut. Yes. We used to help them. And while we are parch peanut, I just story them I tell. My father and my mother just I tell with story. I thought everybody told stories. Let me tell you what else fooled me. In my house, it seems, I think I saw it go, but it seemed to me as a child that our radio uncle turned on to hear the Lou and Ronnie show. So me, the things that the whole world was telling story, me never know say it had a name, believe you me. Me never, you see when me grow up big and hear say, people never like to hear Miss Loop on radio, me shock. Me shock.
And you wonder if them not listen to Miss Lou, then what they feel listen to?
Exactly right. Exactly right. So that is how I was raised on stories. Till somebody tell me, say, I speak anecdotally. Yeah. Me never know what that mean. For me couldn't manage the English. And me was I learned Spanish. And at school, at that time, we had to learn Latin. And me didn't learn all kind of conjugation, Joseph, but me could not conjugate anecdotally. For I just how we talk. Yeah. You know the interesting thing in the way Babylon system turn your brain upside down? When I was first called a storyteller, I resented it. Because when you're born and grow in a community like Whitfield Town, and your parents them tell you, say, education is your way, your ticket to anything, and then send you go a good school. How dare anybody come for a call you storyteller? You're supposed to put on jacket and tie and high heel shoes and stockings.
Yes.
And smodify yourself. So for a long time, me never want nobody call me storyteller. Until me learn what storyteller mean. Because in a way, DNA, in the way Africa builds civilization, you can't just have a nice voice and say you're a storyteller. You have to know little history, little mathematics, little philosophy. You have to know the sociology of the village, the spirituality, because all of that is the storytelling. And mere search and search. You have to search before you research, right, Joseph? But them saying we go research and we not search yet. So, so me there they search and search. I try to find out about storytelling on the continent. There isn't any one word that means storytelling. Oh, because it have been dance and everything and music and proverb and riddle. And the word that I love is a word from Nigeria, pataki. And a pataki is a narrative specifically crafted for your spiritual upbringing. And that storytellers do. Yes. Like the original reggae where them say a conscious music. And that storytellers supposed to do. And when I discovered that storytelling it took on a different perspective. Now here how me turn myself into a storyteller now. You see that wonderful Mr. Ken Carsby? He used to live in Barbados. So the first Caribbean storytelling festival was held in Barbados. It no longer exists. And Ken Carsby did organize it. Me live in Antigua and me have one little group named Child's Play on the picnic in there. And we using the elements of theater to teach self-esteem and self-confidence for us how we both see and go on. And one day I mentioned a Nancy to these children who say, and Nancy, Auntie Amina, and what that? And I said, no, man, I'm not going to talk to no granny. And them go talk to them granny and their auntie, and them come back with 35 Anansi stories. And we make one big Anansi show out of it for Christmas, named Anansi Masquerade, because the stories were there. But you know how sometimes we not pay them no mind and them dormant. Right. So we turn ourselves into one storytelling group now. We all carry the children, go carry festa at Trinidad, go and tell story. Meantime now, the first time, by the way, the first time Antigua went to carry festa, me, Amina, Blackwood Mix carried 21 Antigua picnic them to go represent Antigua in a carry festa. I saw the thing go. Yes, and we now underrate with contribution. So Ken now in a Barbados say him I go mount the first storytelling festival. And Ken say, Amina, you come tell story here me, but Ken, me a no storyteller. Ken laughing. Him say, you are walk up and down with people picking about you teach them to tell story.
Yeah.
And how comes it that you say you're no storyteller? All right, but then I think about it. Remember I said Ken and Mark Matthews went around the region when I was in high school, age 15. Ken must be 20 or so years older than me.
Okay.
Yes, and them I tell story. I did meet Ken, but me never did meet Mark Matthews. When Ken can't persuade me, him say, and by the way, Mark Matthews, I got there. Look here. If Ken did say, Amina, you're a brain surgeon, me would have said yes, for me I go meet. For me I go meet Mark Matthews now. And so Ken persuaded me that I was in fact a storyteller, and I began to explore it. So me I turned storyteller. The value of storytelling now, in the same group in Antigua, my children were between 8 and 13 years old. Children reach a stage round about 13 where they're just too cool for storytelling, you know? And true, me did do look at teaching psychology, me did know that. So me now try hold them beyond 13. So they came when they were 8 and they left when they were 13. And some of them came back at age 15. When they're not so cool anymore, they find themselves according to the theories of psychological development that teachers have studied. So a little boy in the group named Adekunle Oshoba, his mom was the head of the university center in Antigua. She had lived in Nigeria for 19 years. She's an anthropologist. And while she was living in Nigeria, she married one Nigerian man. When Adekunle 7 years old now, them a come live in the Caribbean. So Dr. Ermina Oshoba and her son Adekunle came ahead of father and husband. I met Adekunle before him father ever set eye on the Caribbean. And Adekunle is in my storytelling group. And one evening we're exchanging stories, and Adekunle tell me a story. Me get on the phone and call my sister, Andrea Blackwood Harriet. Me say, Andrea, one little boy down at Antigua, just tell me one story. And me tell her the story. And she say, yes, but our father tell us that story all the time. Me said, that's why me I tell you, Adekunle father who never see the Caribbean yet, telling this story in a Nigeria, that our father who never see Nigeria yet, tell we the story when we are picnic in a Jamaica. And I was alive, not just to what survived, but to how we survived and the importance of storytelling. So now me move beyond the fact say me now accept that this picnic when Miss Pearl and Mr. Johnny send go school, if it turn somebody, now enjoy being called a storyteller, now me want to see what makes storytelling so important that after 500 years, them a tell the same story and we a tell the same story, and me and Kunde buck up in Antigua and the two we know the story.
All right, so you mentioned Antigua before. You did your first degree in a government at UA. And then you go Antigua, go do a diploma in our teaching picnic. Yes. What make you go clearer Antigua and what make you choose to go learn to teach picnic?
Right. All right, now. So when me leave Jamaica first, me go work with the CARICOM Secretariat. So I was based in Guyana.
Never know that.
Yes, they were Guyana for 4 years. Then me up and down the region, I do all kind of something. And me book up one man in Antigua named Reginald Knight. Mr. Reginald Knight was the head of the culture division in Antigua. And he must say, boy, him could have do this, him could have do that. And it did sound exciting. And I said, we come do it for you. And I saw me end up in Antigua. Why now me go study how to teach picnic? That same group me I tell you about.
Yes.
Me meet this group of children and me love them. And we start this group named Child's Play. And we do all kind of things. And me realize me no know nothing about teach picnic. For upper you, we uno lecture, uno a quote, and a footnote. And that are not teaching. Teaching and lecturing are two different something. And so, yeah, and so the university center, what is it called now? Off-campus university, so open campus. Open campus. It wasn't called open campus then. They'd have this teaching program, and I said, I want to do it. I'm a register for it. I tell you, say, one of the best things I've done in my life. Because we deal with picnic and we don't know how to deal with picnic. When my son was little, he used to be afraid I was going to hit him. And I said, me no beat. So why this picnic thing say me I go beat him? Because at nights I used to say, it's time to sponge you down. And what he heard was, punch you down. But me never understand why he heard that until I learned how to teach children. And you learn about language development unit. And you learn where them hear. And you learn, say them say niak, because them can't yet master the SN sound. So it drop off and turn niak. And all of these wonderful things I learned. And I say, wow, me glad me do it. Because even now I'm teaching adults, right?
Yes.
17 years and over. And even now when they make certain errors, in inverted commas, it's my early childhood education, which allows me to understand why they're making those errors.
Boy, I mean, me look on the amount of things them where you do, I'm giddy. Beaumont Comprehensive School, Taran Secondary School, Otos Comprehensive High School, Communications, Consultations Limited, Dunlop Carbon, Agency for Public Information, that's what them call GIS now, Ministry of Mining and Energy, CARICOM Secretariat, JC, Ministry of Education, Youth and Culture, UE, Edna Manley. I mean, this sounds like
one long story. You know, since one long story. Everything when we do a story, may I tell? That is true. Everything that we do, Joseph, is story. When we say one little boy sit down under one tree, and one apple drop out tight and lick him in the head, and he say, Kuya, that name gravity, I want story. And we say,
all of that in one story. That look like about 10 books. If I just 10 story, it have gone for about 10 or 20 books.
And we give thanks and we have published the book them now. See one day, that one name, Don't Hurt That Bird. We are publishing our children's stories.
Hold on. That is, the one you're newer than
yes, the one you're newer than that's that one you come out hot. It didn't reach the bookshop them yet.
Oh, because we did go ask you about that's a good idea, you know.
Yes. This one is about nanny. So yes, we give thanks that I had a brother. My brother went to sleep 3 years ago, almost 4 years now. He was 6'8", and he would say to you, and don't forget the half, because him really was 6'8.5".
Yes.
And he was, yes. And he did play basketball for Kingston College. And when the team did when he did want a new pair of basketball shoes, it cost the team 2 tickets because him and the coach go to Miami, go source the shoes for 15 foot. Yes. and in the drawing foot on a piece of paper and give me and say, anytime you travel, buy me shoes, me good shoes for me. And when people say to me, how you turn storyteller, I would say, you see, if your foot big like my brother one, God say you have turn basketball player. And you see, if you love chat like me, God say you have got turn storyteller. So I'm give you the resources to do where you're supposed to do. And I've always wanted to teach. Me used to keep school at summertime, you know. Me used to collect buckle. In those days, drinks buckle did make out of glass. Me used to collect buckle, and me used to collect mango seed. And me did dry the mango seed them and slit the bottom and put them on the buckle and paint an eye on them. And some have in ribbon if the mango seed have here, them come out and me tie in ribbon in there. And when me have enough, them are my children and me keep school. I'll expel some picnic, you know. For when them not learn me beat them.
You used to beat too?
Pardon me?
You used to beat too?
Yeah, and me beat. And I don't know why I beat. I soon come back to that. We used to beat the buckle them. And any buckle we broke, me just say, that one they get expelled. And me get one new picnic at school. I was never beaten at school. Never beaten at school. My class teachers, Mrs. Waite, when I was in junior 4, and Mrs. Walcott in scholarship class, junior 5, they loved me. I don't know. They loved me so much. They exercised so much patience with me. I was never beaten at school. And
all right. So you're going to learn how to teach picnic.
Yes.
And end up at Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts. Let me say end up, I mean say a bad thing happen, but that's how you then know.
Yes.
How you find it? Because I'm not even sure if you ever teach Lily picnic in a classroom. You ever, Miss, you teach a high school and you teach a university level. You ever teach picnic in a classroom?
I've always had a relationship with little children. Little children gravitate towards me. And I've always run a summer school.
Okay.
When we did live in a Guyana, we did adopt one orphanage. And we did go there every Saturday and read for the children them. Okay. Little ones. Yes, little ones who waiting to be adopted. So then little. Yes. And when I was in Antigua, besides the group called Child's Play, I had a 2-man, because the language so foolish, a 2-woman theater group called Zebra. And when people say, why the group named Zebra, I say, because she was black and I was white. So, so we call the group Zebra. And every summer, Zebra would do a summer school for little ones. And when Jojo couldn't handle the babies under 5, she would say, Amina, that's yours. Go deal with that one day. I've always had that relationship. I'm acknowledging.
But you see what me I hear is that, because remember me say to you, me not see where government ever pay you yet to teach Lily Pitney, but you make your own opportunity to go teach.
Because government now no sense, Joseph. When me come back to Jamaica in 1997, by this time, in addition to when me learn about teaching children and my own experience and storytelling, me write one man who was the chief education officer at the time, and me said, look here, in the last 20 years, me discover 1, 2, 3, 4 about how to teach children and about the use of storytelling and its value. I would like to have an opportunity to share this with you. The man write back and say, we don't have no vacancy. Me write back and say, me never ask you about vacancy.
Yeah.
Which part in that you see me say, dear sir, I hereby apply for? Me no mean say so. Me say, And the letters I go back and forth, and in now pay me dog mine, as we say. At that time, me did very eggs up.
Yes.
And there was something going around called a cultural consultation. Me never know whether I consult about, but me go eggs up in there. And the eggs up, me meet one man named Sidney Bartley.
Yeah,
it was ministry, right?
Yes.
Culture and education did mix up together at that time. I mean, meet Mr. Sidney Bartley one dynamic little man, I showed them some things, and I say whole heap of things when me agree with. Me say, Mr. Bartley, you know, say me write your CEO, and he might tell me about, say, you know, no vacancy. You have any vacancy for a volunteer? For me, I come volunteer with you. And Mr. Bartley say yes. And that is how the Culture in Education program landed in my lap. For me go volunteer with Mr. Bartley and dip my mouth in the cultural policy and dip and dip and dip till culture and education right down in there. And while me a volunteer, someone who you may know, Kamau Amen, became the first director of the Culture in Education program, which is why I think I did so well at it, because I'm a volunteer. And when I go in for my 2 days, they would say to me, Amina, what do you think about this? Amina, what should be the theme for this? Amina, we make that mistake, yeah. So as an outsider, I am engaged with how to make the program run. But me now dream say that program is going to be mine one of these days. Me just a help as a volunteer. And then Kamau, I think you know, became the first graduate of the
MPhil Cultural Studies.
Yes, in cultural studies. And Kamau move on to other things. And another person who we both know, Mr. Hughes, became the next director of the Culture in Education program. Me still a go there.
Yeah, you do some project where we have some nice name like Storycation, but Mrs. say, although you don't teach young picnic in a classroom, you still use up the
Absolutely.
knowledge where you're getting a
Absolutely.
You have two project named Picnipendence.
Yes.
Picnipendence and the other one named Epicnication.
Yes. Picnipendence is, me no believe say, if we celebrate independence with bounce about and train ride, we're now going away and you pay your money. We must know what independence means. So I have a project that I do every year. Clearly we didn't do it in the last 2 years. JCDC has been instrumental in allowing me to have a children's village when we have the activity at the stadium. And NPM if you do it. Yes, NPM if you do it. I may have my children's village.
Storyteller make money. You know, they are road with cap in their hand.
Yes. We now reach the place where some countries reach out with storytelling as a profession. And there are people who that we're working towards that. But I want to say, I gave that proposal to JCDC, and when all the resources come together, the space, the time, the money, JCDC pay me for run the children's village and to talk about this the story of Jamaica's independence, so our children do more than come and eat popcorn and cotton candy
and jump up and down and bounce.
Right. I picnipation now is just Amina being rude and out of order. Them too little to know emancipation. They're not turned man yet. Them are still picnic. So them come a picnipation. And the I Picnipation project is to get our children to understand that children were part of the suffering of enslavement.
Yes.
And that children too were freedom fighters. And then we use some narratives, Mary Prince, Alauda Equiano. The names escape me now, but we pick up those enslaved Africans who documented their own stories. and we pick out the elements of when they were children, and we get the children them to dramatize it and discuss it, so that they too can see themselves as part of our history and part of our future and part of our present as freedom fighters. Me love that project there.
Sound good. Me have to go come watch it one year when we can get to go back to the stadium. Some people that say are modern times now, what we are doing with storytelling. Now, long time old people sitting them there. What you say to them people there? And
would I say a long time?
Me I beg you to play nice.
Yeah, me play nice, man. For me, I go say a long time we bring Aki from Ghana and we till and yam it no dash way. Me I go say a long time one black man put something in a one bulb named filament and it give it light. And we not say old fashioned something. We still use it. And then me I'm gonna say one time there was a thing named the Concorde, and the Concorde come to break speed and sound barrier, and the Concorde couldn't go up a mucko to go help the farmer bring out him food to come and market to feed him. The same donkey we carry Jesus mother and father go to Bethlehem, and then carry Jesus going to Jerusalem, and the same donkey where help Mass Jabez bringing food come and market in spite of the fact say the Concorde did come. So the value of something and the value of someone has nothing to do with their age, but it might. Because in certain cultures, you know wise until you reach 60.
Yes.
You have to live to be 60 to have little sense in your head. And even when we study the psychology of human development, I'm not a psychologist, but I give thanks that such a course was in the teaching course. When we study, because we learn, say, by the time we reach 40, we can just look back and say, look where I've been. When we learn. And that's why so many authors become prolific authors after 40. Because now they have something to write down. Say this me know. Yes. Because we reach.
Me think say no hope never left for me.
No man, plenty hope that they will soon come back to that. Because now psychologically, we're at a stage called reflection. So we start to reflect now, and the thing has spill out, and we have to write it down. You know how much performers, how much big Hollywood actors turn actors after they reach 40? You know how much people switch careers after them reach 40, and now they must switch career because after them reach 40 and then used to chalk and talk, something come in named Zoom, and them say, how me I go manage? And then reach 50, and something come in near Moodle, and something come in near asynchronous sitting another, and synchronous sitting another, learning. One of them means we learn together in at the same time, and the other one means you learn by your own. Yes. So we're always switching. We're always switching.
Yes.
The danger of thinking that something is old and old-fashioned is that we begin to feel better than the people who used it at that time. I am no better than my granny who used to bake hella top, hella bottom in a one zinc pan. That was high-tech at the time.
Yes.
Oven never come in yet.
And probably tastes much better than it tastes now.
Right.
In the gas oven and in the electric oven.
Yes. So we must, and better to the environment, and better to the environment. So we have to guard against this hubris that make us think that we're in a modern time, because guess what? If we're not guard against it, in 15 years time, we great grandpeople are going to laugh off of it. Because them are going to have car where them call and say, car, me ready for go to work now. And the car are going to come and them are going to laugh and them are going to say, you know, say my granny used to have to go outside and open the door and start the car ourselves. It's just how we progress.
You know, me couldn't make your left and ask you something about the link between storytelling and language. Talk to it.
Oh my goodness. make a start with a story a friend of mine told me many, many years ago. He lived in Russia for a while and fluent in Russian. He studied in Russia and he was reading a Russian text. And there was an article in this text about Jamaica. And he might read, man, he might read. And came across a word he didn't recognize. And him stop and him say, where the word that come from? I don't know Russian right, sir. The word was overstand. But because he saw the word in the Russian text, you know how that works. If you speak another language. For a while, he stumbled. They could not translate overstand. Them know what it mean, but them couldn't translate it. So rather than destroy the meaning, then put it back in at the text same way. That are the best thing we can tell you about storytelling and language. Because language gives you a unique perspective upon the thing where you are dealing with. Language move your heart in a certain way. How you going to translate crick crack? I don't know how you translate that. Truly. I don't know how you translate man piyaba to describe that the bush. Yes, so it's not just that we are substituting one word for another. It's the whole culture. It's the emotion. It's the identity. It's the psychology that travels with the word. So I tell teachers, do not tell the children to talk about brother dog and brother cat. Brother dog is not the same as brother dog.
Do that, say pile up the culture, them pile up the culture.
Brother dog might be what you call your church brother and your church sister, but brother dog, me and you have a certain bonding. That's why when brother dog and brother puss fall out, we feel it so much, you know. We feel it because them are brother. Them just don't have the same mother and father. You see how long we take to explain that?
Yes, yes.
But when we tell stories and the stories now carry the language and the identity and the emotion and the history. One time we did learn, say, one of the reasons we call ourselves sisters and brothers is because the same Twi word that means the hold of the ship also means womb.
Oh.
Hallelujah to the Lamb. So them catch we and push we in at this thing where them think is the hold of the ship. But the experiences that we go through in that, when we come out, we are born as brothers and sisters, and a so the thing go. So the language also carries the history. Not try translate it. You know, the thing about language is we have to be authentic about it. Because the way me and you are talk now, we don't make it up, you know.
Yes.
I accept that I am multilingual. I accept that I speak 4 languages. I speak English, but I also speak Jamaican confidently and clearly.
Yes. And
4 languages.
And eloquently too.
Yes, thank you. So I don't make a decision as to when I am going to, big head people call it code switch. I am not code switching. When I am in a situation that if I go to Mexico, then I Spanish, I may not have no choice. But if I go, and it mess up my head, because some of the things like how we have Jamaican Sign Language, different from English Sign Language, you have to think the English equivalent before you can put it in a Spanish. And then maybe I know that you really mean. I know that you really mean for say. So when I go to Mexico, for example, I have my friend Ruben, who was a Ruben, I diss me, I try to say, you know, I diss me mean. So give me the best word. For you know that Spanish, I don't know about other languages, but Spanish is precise. So there are 14 different ways to say have, the verb to have, 14 different ways, and all kind of ways to describe white, and so on and so on and so forth. So when I am in places that speak English, and them now go understand the Jamaican, may have a difficult time. to think through everything in English.
Yes.
To say it.
Yes.
The other thing is
them
how we
the full thing either.
And them not get the full thing. Them not get the full thing. The other thing is about respect and about being validated. Because now that I have been doing the festival circuit for more than 30 years, I have learned how much they want to hear the Jamaican language. They want to hear it.
Say that again to me.
They want to hear the Jamaican language. So when I go, yes, man, when I go to Scotland or when I go to Jonesboro, where the National Storytelling Festival is held in the United States, me have to make sure that me start in a one little Jamaican or showing Jamaican in it somewhere. And this week, Saturday, I'm going to be in Rhode Island, in a Jamaica, do you know? But Rhode Island Black Storytellers, RIBS, having them annual festival. And I am a performer. And them I tell me, say, Amina, you have to talk some Jamaican in this thing because them are come for here Jamaica. And Jamaica has a language.
Amina, you have some people out there who are said to it, but you have to talk English because nobody out there taught Jamaican and they don't want to hear Jamaican, they don't want to learn Jamaican.
Oh, them never see Warren Weir up in the Olympics up in England the other day. You remember when the BBC come to interview Warren? Him say, me go big up this, that, the next thing, the other thing. And the world went crazy.
Yes.
And the BBC repeat that the interview multiple times because the things are sweet and the things are nice. And then what we should also note is that every year there is a big conference on indigenous languages and how they lament when the indigenous languages are dying.
Yes.
This is the first year of the decade for indigenous languages.
UNESCO decade, yes.
Yeah, that are going this year. And I have friends in South Africa who are chasing down the last speakers of this language or that language, document them, have them on tape so people can hear or have them on South African radio telling stories in their languages. Now, I'm sure this happens at other places in the world, but I can only reference what I know. And so me I tell you, say, when me know, a disagwan pan watagwan.
So Amina, Don't Hurt That Bird. That's the latest book.
Yes. Yes.
What the book about? Me know say no one give the whole of the story, yeah?
No, me not going to do also. I tell you, say, up in a Moortown, there are many, many stories about Nanny having become a bird. Up in a Moortown, there are many stories. I say, when you come up there, now don't come with your slingshot, come shoot a bird because things might happen to you. You don't know which bird.
Yes.
And then, of course, we have all of these beautiful birds that are not anywhere else in the world. What then call them? Endemic. And them up in the Blue Mountain. And little children go up there and shoot them and tell you about how the bird meat sweet. I was talking to Dr. Susan Otuakan, who is the executive director of Jamaica Conservation and Development Trust. And she said, but I mean, the little bird, them some maga, that mean I know where they find pan that the bird feed. He said they made sweet. So we have combined this need to protect our endemic species with the legends about Nanny as a process of self-discovery and honoring who we are in this book named Don't Hurt That Bird.
And you know what sweet me? And may I go back now to the question about what we are doing with storytelling now. And that you are entertained and you are teach at the same time. Yeah? So the pitney them I have fun when them read the story or when somebody read the story to them. But you teach them said time to love the environment, to
yes,
protect them surroundings, to protect the things them in our nature.
Indeed, indeed. The first book is called That's a Good Idea. And that celebrates our black and brown and red shadism now. It's beautiful variety of black people and what we have given to the world. That book is called That's a Good Idea. And we have an international movement of That's a Good Idea.
Yes. Me here say
you buy the book.
Yeah, but Spanish version too.
Yes. And the Spanish version in our schools in Mexico.
Whoa.
I want to tell you that.
Good.
Which is to say, we're not in a no school in Jamaica, I don't know why. And it's not for the want of knocking on the doors. What we still are knock on the doors and one day. But that's a good idea. Have an international club called the Good Idea Club. And you buy the book and you read the book and you sign up if you wish to become a member of the club. And the club have maybe 4 objectives. You can sign as a little picnic, as a big picnic, as a family, as a class, as a school. And the idea is the world just needs us to release good ideas and to be good people. And our children can't be good by themselves. They have to be good in the company of. Martin Luther King learned to be good in the company of other people. Paul Bogle learned when learned in the company of. Marcus Garvey learned when learned to him father and him godfather in the company of. So we can't just tell our children to be good. We have to set the example. So we launched this Good Idea Club. We have members in Barbados, in Trinidad. We have members in Jamaica. We have members up in England. We have members in Mexico. You know how you have Kiwanis Club?
Yes.
This is our dream, you know, that one day, long after we're gone, but we're not gone now. We're about 69 years more left. 106.
No, but I hurry it up.
We now hurry it up. 43, whole heap of years. One day long after we're gone. In the same, this is our dream. In the same way we have Kiwanis and optimists and optimists. We're going to have one good idea club around the world with these 4 objectives to release goodness. Goodness is released when you apply yourself to producing academic excellence, you know. All the little children can produce academic excellence. All the children then from the so-called inner city communities who are whop up 97 in a pep. Because their mother and their father tell them, say, look your boy, now ramp with education. You who built the pyramid, not supposed to fail no exam. Not true.
Yes.
Yeah, man. And then believe it and whop up some big 97. Yeah. We walk with them. And that's our dream, that we are going to assist people coming together in the cause of goodness, wherever they are in the world. So if you go up on my name, not Facebook,
your website,
my website, you go see just my name, AminaBlackwoodMeeks.com. You go see all the information about the Good Idea Club and you sign up. Now the little boy Johnny, this is the other thing, the little boy Johnny wear one little dashiki shirt. And the dashiki shirt have it come in yellow.
And just for the listeners, Johnny come out of the That's a Good Idea book.
Yes.
So if they want to know who named Johnny, they have to go buy the book and find little Johnny.
Yes, and you can get a shirt like Johnny one. And you can get your shirt in black, gold, or green, or red. And then it has some little African motifs around the collar and around the sleeve. But if you don't want the African motif on your one, when you order it and you want bandana pan for your one, then no, that's a good idea because we that. The black, the gold and green for Jamaica, and the black, the red and green for Marcus Garvey, and the bandana for all the other reasons. And we are just so happy at the way it's developing.
Nice. All right, so it's, and where people can get the book come out already? Me talk about don't.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Is in all major bookstores. Okay. And I know that we don't do free ads, but all major bookstores, I mean, no say the book them a sell because one bookstore just say, but we want 1/3 shipment. So it a go on all major bookstores and Things Jamaica and in the airport. And
Amazon. Amazon.
And they can also access it on Amazon. Yes.
And if they can walk, come find you at Edna Manley.
Oh, yes. Me have one other bookstore. Me have one bookstore named Fimi Bookshop. And Fimi Bookshop is anywhere you see me car. Because anywhere you see me car, me have the book them on the back seat. So Fimi Bookshop. Yes, indeed.
All right. So Don't Hurt That Bird come out yet?
Yeah, Don't Hurt That Bird is published on Amazon. I have the author's copies with me in Jamaica, and we are expecting the first shipment for the bookstores soon. Don't Hurt That Bird comes with a poster of the endemic birds. So if you don't know what we mean, and this we mean, take care of these birds. And we are going to launch that book up in a more town to honor Nanny. So the schools them up there have been sensitized, use big word now, but we're not set no date, because we now put on we pot on fire. When the book them land, we say, okay, the book them land, we have it. As soon as the books are, but it will be done during Black History Month. That we're sure of. Okay. The books and the posters will be here.
Okay, great. And so me have to say Jack Mandora, but me I go choose one, or probably two. Or all of them. I may encourage the people and the listener them to go out and go get the book them for them picnic. They drawing them nice and them having people who look like we.
That's the important thing, them having people who look like we. Yes. You know what's interesting about that? The illustrator, the artist, has never been to the Caribbean. But him close enough. Him come from Sri Lanka.
Oh, okay. We over
there. Yes, you come from Sri Lanka. And when I saw the first, proof, I said, no, man, that man you tell lie. Jagat come here when we're asleep. But Jagat has never been here. But you know their history as well. So they have the same feelings we have about reproducing ourselves beautifully and authentically. So we give thanks. Yes.
So see everybody, Amina Blackwood Meeks tell us a story in everything. And she show us a storytelling and an all-time sitting. She tell me about her life and the work she do in a culture and storytelling in Jamaica and other places in the Caribbean. Amina tell me about 2 her book them, and now she have built up one big international club. If you are listening to the program you're on the Braadkyaas Jamiekan YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel, yeah? And if you like the program, just click on the thumbs up button under the video and click the little bell on the side so you know anytime we post a new show. My name is Joseph Farquharson and you just don't listen to Talk to Me.